Hello everyone, this is going to be a tutorial on making a fully unattended install for Microsoft Windows 2000. I believe you can use this also for Vista, Windows 7, and also the new Windows 8. Now currently what I've done is I've actually installed my Windows AIK, or Automated Installation Kit, and I'll go ahead and show you here on the web. Hang on just a sec. Alright, let's go ahead now. So we're on the web and I want to go ahead and show you where it is. So this is the Windows AIK kit. It's the Windows Automated Installation Kit. Notice it's on Microsoft's website. Now you can use the Windows AIK for Windows 7, or you can use it also for Windows 8. There's a new one for Windows 8. But, however, this is the one that I downloaded, just so you guys can see that it's version 3, and it's a KB3 AIK underscore English ISO, and it's 1.7 gigabytes. So you guys saw what I typed in to get to that, which I typed in Windows AIK to download that. So I want to download the Windows 8 trial, is what you want to type in as well. So hit enter on that. And I'll show you here the 90-day trial version, but we don't want to download it from some other site other than Microsoft, okay? Take a look at this. It's the Windows 8 Enterprise Evaluation. And you can see here on the page, you can look down here as they go down. It has the two different versions. The one I'm currently using is, I believe, the 32-bit version. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a unattended install for Windows 8, since it's currently the newest one. And also, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'll just do it for both. It'll be pretty simplified. Almost all of the tutorials are almost exactly the same for both. There's a few new menus on there for 8, but I'll do it for 7 as well. So beforehand, I've downloaded and I've put 8 here on the desktop. I have it available, so I have the sources files from the CD. I'm going to go ahead and make my Windows 7 available. This is the ISO that I already currently have. So I'm going to go to my ISOs file folder here, and I also have the enterprise version of Windows 7. I'm going to make that active here on my VirtualBox, or my VMware, sorry. And now, there we go. So we have Windows 7 on there as well. So I'll start off with Windows 7. I'm going to go ahead and open up the sources folder. I believe I can get this one to read right from the CD, so we'll give that one a shot here. So I've already installed the Windows Automated Installation Kit. It's going to bring up this following menu, which is right here, which is Windows 7 System Image Manager. You want to go ahead and open that up. And the first things we want to do once you have this opened up is we want to find the image, the one that we're going to develop our unattended install file from. So what we want to do with that, let's go ahead and right click under where it says Windows Image, select a Windows image, and I'm going to go to my CD-ROM, which I have the Windows 7 on, and then I'm going to go to my sources on that CD-ROM, and I'm going to look for the file here that says install.whim. Now this one already has a catalog built in, so there's no reason to create one since I already have one in it. When we go under the Windows 8, we're going to be required to create a catalog file. So let's go to the Windows 7, and if you don't have one, just make absolutely sure when you guys go to create this catalog file, you actually did this to start with. You'll have to go to Start, and you want to go to the Windows System shortcut, the Windows System Image Manager, and make sure you right click on it and run as administrator. That right there is the reason why most of them won't create a catalog file correctly, is because of those rights. So just so you know, I'm showing you ahead of time, so in case you're having trouble with it and it says it can't create a catalog file, that's the reason. Alright, right click and select Windows Image. Make sure that I'm on my CD-ROM, which I am here. Go to my CD-ROM, select sources, and I'm going to come down here to the Windows Enterprise catalog, load it up, and we have my components here. I'm going to go over to my answer file, right click on it, and create a new answer file component. So the first thing I'm going to be looking for is under components. And I'm looking for the file called International Core. And let's bring down the list here, and we'll bring it up. International Core. It takes a little bit to find. There it is right here. So I'm not using the WinPE. I'm going to be using the International Core 6.1, and it's got a bunch of numbers there, and then it says neutral. So International Core. So what you do is you right click on it, and we want to select where it says add the setting pass to 700BE system. Okay? Notice that it popped in right there. And then one more. We want to add the shell setup. So here it is right here, the Windows, so Microsoft Windows shell setup neutral. So let's right click on it, add it. Now we have the two sections in there. Okay. So let's bring this over, open up our area a little bit bigger here. Let's go ahead and start off with setting this up. So what we want to do here is we want to tell it our locale, or that we're going to be using English in this. And you want to type it in exactly as you see it here. So that's 2 lowercase en dash uppercase US. And you want to just pretty much fill that in all the way down. And keep going on it. Down to here. Alright, that looks like that's pretty much well filled in. We've got everything set up in there, which is good. Let's go ahead and go, and now let's highlight the Microsoft Shell setup, and let's go down to where it says time zone. I'm in Pacific Standard Time. There's also Eastern Standard Time, and a couple other ones too, and I think there's a total of 4 possibly. Well, there's actually, depending on what part of the world you're in, there's actually different types of time zones. I'm particularly in Pacific Standard Time. And this is just so that I don't have to have this selected whenever the first screen comes up, so that you don't have to select where you want to do the region. This just prevents all of that, which is really nice. And then I'm going to come down here, I'm going to set up a little bit of information about my computer and what it's set up to be. If you wanted to load in a logo, all you have to do is make sure the dimensions of that is 120 by 120, and I'm going to demonstrate that here too. We'll go back and create one here. So I'm going to be the manufacturer here. I'm going to say that this one is a test YouTube tutorial, and my model number is 780 2001 Tesla. How about that? Hours of operation are from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Phone number is, alright, and let's give it a support URL. Yeah, I actually wouldn't put these things in. These things are true, but just as demonstrational so you can have it branded of your own. Now, set up an actual logo. Let's go ahead and type in, go to Start, and then go to Paint. Open up Paint, and let's set the dimensions inside of Paint. I think we can go to View, and let's see, where is it at? I remember there was a little option here to set the size. Oh, excuse me. Let's see, where is it at inside of here? Resize and skew. Ah, here it is. That's it. Resize and skew. Let's set it to pixels, and we want to make it 120. And we need to change that aspect ratio. So we need to go 120 by 120 is what we need to set this logo. It can go a little bit higher than that, but I wouldn't take it too much higher than that. Okay? So let's go back. And I want to go ahead and let's do a couple of shapes in here. I'm going to make it something like this. And let's make one like this. Just kind of playing around here, just making some different shapes. Whoops. There we go. So there's my logo. All right. Let's go ahead and go to File, Save As, and let's go ahead. I'm going to save this one to my desktop currently, but it cannot be a PNG. It needs to be I believe it can be a 24-bit bitmap, but it must be a bitmap, and you must call it OEM logo. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and save that to my desktop. Alright, there's for the logo there. Okay, so basically where this needs to be is it needs to be in C /Windows /System32 /OEM logo .bmp. Okay, just so you know, that's where we need to copy it to make this work when we're going to set it up, and that's going to be my business logo inside of this, branding it. Okay, so we need to go down, and we can actually set up a couple other things in here, though, links and things like that. If you wanted to set up some website links, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to go ahead and go to the OOBE. So we need to go to where it says hide the EULA page. That means about the license agreement. I'm going to answer true, hide that. Don't worry about the wireless portion of it, but let network location, I want it to be work. This is something that is such a pain in the neck. If you've done this on a network many times, you have to select all these things every time you turn it on. So there's three options. One is protect your PC. Two is protect and suggest. And 3 is do it later. I'm going to go ahead and select a 1 to protect the PC. I don't need to click on either one of these options here. We're done with that. We don't need to do skip machine OBE or any of these. That's fine. Okay. Lastly, down here, you can actually pick on what you want the display to be. You can set the size of that and everything. You can do a lot of different things to it. But we're going to go down here to go to local accounts, and we need to create a local account. So I'm going to right click on this, go to insert new local account. And let's call this description as in, admin user. And the name that's going to be displayed on it will be YouTube admin. Okay, this has to be in the administrators group. All right, I'm going to make that administrators. And then the name of the account. So we'll call it then we can confirm all this when it sets it up. So here's what I set up for my parameters under local account name. And one last thing, you need to click on this because it expanded. We need to put a password in it. So I'm going to give it a password of test. Alright, so we have everything that's required to do a fully unattended install. So let's go ahead and remove. Now this is important. You need to remove all of the options you didn't fill out, otherwise it'll give it a compile error. So I'm going to go through and delete everything that we didn't set up. And then now we should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this. That's your complete unattended install. Lastly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one file that we set up under the OOBE information here. I'm going to put that file in the folder, so it'll actually set it up and use that as a logo inside of there too. So, alright, now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and go to File here, and I want to go to Save Answer File As, and then we want to call this, I'm saving it to my desktop, unattend. .xml. Unattend.xml. I'm saving it to my desktop. And I can go ahead and close out of this, and I can see right here. Here it is. Double click on it. Let's take a look at it. And I can see pretty much everything set up as we did before, which is looking good. Don't have any issues with that. Very good. So the only thing it should ask me for is to create a computer name when it runs, which we can do as well. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. And let's go ahead and take our logo that I copied here. Copy. And I'm going to place that into that Windows and then System32 folder. Copy it right down in here. Okay, there's my OEM logo.bmp. And now what we can do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a script file here. Now, script file, I'm going to make it run the unattended install. So Hold on a second here. Let me bring that up. Alright, I have my file here on the desktop and the script file here. Let's go ahead and edit this, and I can show you how it runs here. So basically this script file here is what I'm going to use to run my unattended install. So you notice where the folder is. It's under Windows System sysprep unattend. So I need to copy both of these files, my unattend and my script that I'm going to run it with, into that folder. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And hold on, let's open it up here. Go to computer. Yeah, go to my C drive, Windows. Go to the System 32, and then sysprep. And let's copy both of them in here. Alright, so if everything goes good here, I'm going to be able to, it's going to do my sysprep right now. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on it and say run as administrator. Let's fire it up. This is a good sign. So I'm waiting for it to shut down, so we can make sure show everybody here that it does work. Alright, looks like it went through. And shut it down like it's supposed to. Let me fire it back up here again. Definitely don't want to boot to the CD. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it because it looks like it's going to take a moment here. Alright, okay, so we're at the screen here. The only thing that I didn't set up was a computer name. So it's asking me to enter a computer name. I'll leave it as PC test. How about that? Click next on it. Finalizing my settings. You notice it didn't ask me about anything else, how to set up the network, what I wanted it to do, the EULA agreement. Everything was automated except the computer name. Pretty easy to add a setting in there for the computer name too, but I want to see if it added our logo in there as well. We're going to take a look at the system. There we go. It's added in YouTube admin. Remember, and then I made my password test. You guys remember? And it looks like it's loading into it. No problem. Taking a little bit longer than I thought it would, but it's loading. Oh, I think I might pause it if it's going to take too long. There we go. Well, just barely pausing, it went right on. So there it is. It loaded up. And let's take a look at our logo information. Go to Control Panel. First go to Start, and then go to Control Panel. And then want to go to System once it comes up. Now, this is the first time I've loaded it up, so it is going to take a second. Hang on. Alright, and let's go to the system icon here. And there's my logo, plus here's all of my information that I entered in here. Test YouTube tutorial, you'll see all this. Processor, listed that automatically, and the RAM that's in there. And look at that. So you can see that I've added all those settings in there, custom setup. And look at this. Even the online support site takes me to my favorite site here. Looks like it's loading it up, no problem. Hobby King. There we go. So, just so you guys know, you can see the logo that I loaded in here as well show up, and I've branded this complete system and did a fully automated unattended install. Thank you for joining us, and please leave any comments if you'd like to see any more tutorials on this subject. Let me know.